The real reason Taylor Swift is releasing her songs again. Not only has Taylor Swift's decision to re-record her earlier albums constituted a key period in her career, but has also marked a defining chapter in the wider music industry. The combination of personal dedication and astute economic acumen that went into this decision is quite astounding. This move, which has attracted both her fans and the wider public, was motivated by a highly publicized struggle with her former record company, Big Machine Records, and its owner, Scooter Braun, over the rights to the master recordings of her first 6 albums. Scooter Braun was the owner of Big Machine Records. When Big Machine Records was in operation, Scooter Braun was the proprietor. As a result of the fact that Swift has, for a substantial amount of time, considered her music to be an extension of both her personal life and her artistic personality, the problem of ownership became a primary concern for her. Big Machine Records, which includes the masters of Taylor Swift's early albums, was acquired by Scooter Braun, a well-known personality in the music industry, in the year 2019. A quarrel reached a boiling point as a result of this event. As a consequence of this agreement, Braun was able to acquire ownership of the master recordings of the albums that had been instrumental in Swift's rise to prominence in the music industry. Swift was of the opinion that this situation was extremely upsetting. Her music, which is profoundly autobiographical and follows her journey through love, heartbreak, and self-discovery, has always maintained a very powerful emotional connection for her. Her music chronicles her journey through all of these things. Through the years, she has maintained a powerful emotional connection. The experience of having the rights to these songs, which she had poured her heart into, fall into the hands of someone who she had accused of bullying and manipulating her, was the terrible pill that she had to swallow. She had expressed her feelings of being bullied and manipulated by this person. Swift's discontent was heightened by the fact that she had attempted to negotiate with Big Machine for the rights to her music, but she claimed that the terms that were granted were unreasonable and constrained. This circumstance added to Swift's predicament. Swift has even more reasons to feel frustrated as a result of this. She had the idea that she had been refused possession of her own creative production, therefore she made the daring decision to re-record all 6 albums. She did this because she felt that she had been denied ownership of her own creative output. This move was not simply a tactic for commercial gain, but it was also an act of artistic disobedience on the part of the artist. Due to the fact that Swift made the decision to re-record these albums, she was able to reclaim ownership of her music in a manner that was not only symbolic, but also practical. If Taylor Swift were to create new versions of her previous songs, she would be able to retain the rights to the re-recordings of those songs. By doing so, she would be the one to benefit from any future sales or streaming of those new versions of her songs rather than Braun or Big Machine. This would assure that she would be the one to benefit. After careful consideration, it has become abundantly evident that the choice to re-record the project was a beneficial one for the company. Swift was able to reintroduce her music to both her previous fans and a newer generation of listeners, many of whom were too young to fully appreciate her older albums when they were first released. She was able to do this by reintroducing her music to both groups. Swift was able to reintroduce her music to both of them as a result of this. Taylor Swift has given her fans the option to engage with her music on a more profound level by releasing Taylor's versions of her most renowned albums. This has resulted in a combination of sentiments of nostalgia and fresh excitement for her followers regarding her music. It is common for these re-releases to include recordings of songs that have never been made available to the public before. These recordings are referred to as from the vault recordings. Fans are given the opportunity to learn about fresh content from earlier years in Swift's career that they may have neglected in the past thanks to these recordings. Because of this, her re-recorded records have been given a new lease on life, changing what could have been a routine commercial option into a full-blown cultural event. Her records have been re-recorded. In the context of the music industry, the re-recording effort that Taylor Swift is undertaking raises more significant problems concerning the rights and ownership of recording artists. The implications of these concerns extend far beyond the financial ones. As a result of the fact that record labels have traditionally been the proprietors of the master recordings of albums, a great number of artists have struggled throughout the course of history to keep control over their work. It's a powerful statement against this long-standing practice that Taylor Swift has chosen to re-record her albums, and it has prompted a significant amount of discussion over the rights of musicians to own their ideas. Swift came to the conclusion that protecting the rights of artists to own their works was the correct thing to do. The struggle that Taylor Swift is putting up for her masters has resonated with other artists, many of whom have, in the past, experienced challenges that are comparable to those that Swift is currently facing. Taking this into consideration, her endeavor to re-record serves not only her own interests, but also as a rallying cry for other musicians who are looking to retake control over their work in an industry that frequently places a higher priority on financial gain than on the autonomy of their creative expression. Her re-recording endeavor serves as a rallying cry for other musicians. One cannot overstate the emotional resonance that Swift's choice carries. It is impossible to overstate its significance. The struggles she had as a young woman negotiating love, fame, and identity are reflected in the music that she composed when she was younger. This music is deeply related to her personal life and depicts the challenges she endured. There are songs that have become anthems for a whole generation, such as Love Story, You Belong With Me, and All Too Well. A few examples of these songs are included below. This collection of songs captures the highs and lows of the amorous and self-discovery experiences that young people go through all throughout their lives. By re-recording these songs, Taylor Swift is reintroducing herself to the emotions and experiences that have shaped her not only as an artist, but also as a person. This is a process that she is going through. The process of re-recording previous albums affords her the opportunity to reflect on how she has progressed as a musician since she first wrote these songs. As a result, she is able to offer fans a revised perspective on songs that they are already familiar with. Not only does this provide fans with a one-of-a-kind listening experience, but it also gives them the opportunity to compare the original versions of the songs with the new recordings. This gives them the opportunity to appreciate the subtle nuances, as well as the ways in which Swift's voice and interpretation of the songs have evolved over the course of Swift's career. Swift's fans, who are collectively referred to as Swifties, have been through a journey that is not only extremely personal for them, but also extremely personal for Swift. There are a considerable number of her followers who have grown up with her music, and the re-recordings provide them the opportunity to relive the emotions that they felt when they first heard these songs, while also allowing them to hear them in a fresh light from a different perspective. As a result of fans joining together to celebrate the re-releases of the Taylor's version albums and share their excitement over the new content, the albums have developed into an experience that is shared by the community. This has resulted in a sense of shared ownership over Swift's music, which has led to a deeper relationship between Swift and her following. This further strengthens the relationship between Swift and her fans. As a result of her efforts to re-record her songs, Taylor Swift has also been able to take ownership of her legacy. The decision that Taylor Swift has made to re-record her albums is a means by which she can exert control over the manner in which her music is remembered and experienced within the music industry. This industry is typified by the fact that the narratives surrounding the careers of artists are frequently shaped by external influences. Through the process of reclaiming her repertoire, she is ensuring that future generations will interact with the versions of her music that she has complete ownership over. She is able to seize control of the narrative that is associated with her work through the use of this method. She has not only been more financially independent as a result of this shift, but it has also helped her to solidify her position as a pioneer in the music industry. She has been a staunch supporter of artists' rights and has posed a challenge to the conventional power dynamics that are present between musicians and record firms. At the end of the day, the decision that Taylor Swift took to re-record her early albums is an endeavor that is pretty powerful and incorporates a variety of different components. Besides being a story about the evolution of one's own personality, it is also a story about the recuperation of one's artistic abilities. In addition to ensuring that she will be able to generate a profit from her own work, Taylor Swift has also conveyed to the music industry the significance of artist ownership by her decision to take ownership of her music. She has done re-recordings that are more than just re-releases of previous albums. They are a celebration of her craft, a testimony to her tenacity, and a message of empowerment for artists all over the world. She has done these re-recordings. Swift has shown that the struggle for creative control is not merely about income, rather it is about identity, integrity, and legacy. This is something that Swift has proved repeatedly. As a result of the work that she has undertaken, she has accomplished this by redefining what it means to be an artist in the contemporary music landscape. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.